Good morning. TinaO here from Powerhouse Impact Media Group, where media is the beat of our drum. I'm a little impromptu, totally unscripted, dropping in because we just finished a really important conversation that we had on Gather for Her. Gather for Her is our weekly Wednesday web series where we gather to listen to change makers who are out in the world doing their impact work. And we listen for the collective wisdom between us in the space. Powerhouse is an Indigenous and non-Indigenous organization. We're a bridge organization, and those are the conversations that we have. This particular morning, we gathered with Amanda Rae Storteboom, and we talked about impact media, and we talked about change work and what it's like to be a disruptor and the power of media in that disruption. We talked about what happens in the creation of an impact media campaign. And these are all about things that our brain, wants to hook into. Like, okay, is Tina going to tell me about the deliverables? Is she going to tell me about, all these things that impact media is? And honestly, that conversation's the easy conversation. That's the checkbox conversation. That's not the conversation that we had today. The conversation that we started with, because what happens in a gather conversation is we open on the thing that we're exploring, and then we let go. We let go and we follow where the story wants us to go. And this morning, what I was really struck with, and we opened on the question of braiding for impact. And if you've heard me talk before, you'll know, you've heard me say this, that everything you need to know happens in the first 5 minutes, and you'll spend the rest of the hour unpacking that one message, like, because it's the core impulse. And that core impulse has all the information in it. So you spend the next hour unpacking it, which is great because it's totally worthy of an hour of unpacking. And what happened in that first question around what is braiding for impact, is as we moved all the way through to the end of the conversation, like, oh, this is the braid. Got it. And the braid is internal, world, core, story, message, impact, core impact, core drive of the change maker that you are, that impulse to get up when your feet hit the floor in the morning. You know that you're built for change. You're here to contribute. You have a message, a communication, a doingness thing that you're building. Whatever the change is, that's the internal. Then you've got the external, which is the second part of the braid. And the external is how that lives in the world. What are you actually doing in exchange with people? Like, so that's the with part. I'll come back to the third part of the braid in a sec. I want to just get to this external piece, because something that popped up in the conversation today was that Amanda confessed to being an introvert. And I had this thought, I'm like, right, you know what? All the change makers I meet these days, you're all freaking introverts. I'm a total extrovert. Like, duh, can you tell? I'm an absolute extrovert. I definitely have an introverted artistic side, but make no mistake, the world meets me as an extrovert. But the change makers that I am meeting these days, they're introverts. They are Amanda. They are Amanda Rae. And so there's this piece that she offered us where she recognized that, change work will only reach to those who know about you, or those who have heard about you, or those who can at least find you. And so she challenged us as change makers listening, the audience listening, to really think about that. Like, okay, so you're doing your change work. Does anybody know about it? Does enough people know about it? Is there a ripple happening? Are you able? She used this other piece where she talked about coming from the internal and pulling through from the other layers, other circles around you. to help that change work happen. And I'm not talking about networking. We know how to network. Oh, for heaven's sake, we know how to network. This isn't about who do I know, la, 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 la. It's who am I sharing my impact, that impulse, that internal contribution piece. Who am I sharing that with? Who am I going to vulnerably show up in my story so somebody else can see it? And then I'm going to listen to their vulnerability, to their impact, to their story. We're going to see each other, and then we're going to pull each other in. We're going to start braiding. So with the first strand of the braid is internal, your internal change work, your internal world. She also offered, you will only grow externally. It's not like we don't know this, but I want you to hear it from the space of communication. We will only grow externally or reach externally based on our internal growth, right? So our willingness to tell our story has a lot to do with our willingness to own internally our change work. Okay, so strand 1, internal. Strand 2, external. That's the reach part. Strand 3 goes back to the Indigenous wisdom, which is Powerhouse. Powerhouse is 100% owned by an Indigenous, by Charlene Sanjanko. And so we're a 100% Indigenous owned organization. Indigenous wisdom moves through everything we do. Yes, we're a bridge organization. I am not an Indigenous woman. And the bridging between us and the conversations between us and the collective learning between us is the work that we do in Powerhouse. So the third piece, the third strand is interconnected. So we have internal, external, interconnected. And that braid is the work of Impact Media. And so that was the offering that came, that was the wisdom, the offering of wisdom that came through this morning. And I wanted to make sure that you heard about it, because not all of you are connected to us on Gather for Her yet. And I want to invite you to come and do that with us. I also want to share, she gave us 4 or 5 clues. Yeah, 5 clues. I think Shar asked a question at the end. She was like, okay, so how do you know, how does a change maker know when they're ready for an impact media campaign? And that's change maker individual, change maker organization. We have paths for both. And this was Amanda's offer. First one, she's like, okay, if you're looking for traction, you're doing your change work, but you're kind of like, okay, I'm going. I need traction. I need to feel like we're moving now. So that's the first one. The second clue is, as a change maker, if you're experiencing fatigue, if you're feeling like, I've been doing this for so long, is anything working? I don't know. Then an impact media portfolio or piece would be a fit for you. The third thing, and this is where we really got into, again, more of the world of impact media and what, not just impact media as a concept, but impact media in terms of how Powerhouse does it, because I know that the impact media thing might be really new in the marketplace, but it's going to become a thing. Of course it is. And so when there's a thing, there's what's your version of the thing. And what we bring to the table is a all sensory approach to storytelling, that the impact that we create with you, as you, for you, dancing with you, is a full, whole human, whole sensory experience, so that the impact that we're offering the world is that the world actually does get to hear you, see you, experience you, and it happens through media, through communication. So this is clue number 3. She said, she offered, you're ready for an impact media portfolio if, or a change making model, if you have a sense, that was my key word, if you have a sense that there's more, but you don't know how to get there, meaning there's more to be done, there's more impact, there's more depth, there's more something. And we all know as a change maker what that feels like. You're like, there's more. You have a sense of that, but how How does it translate? How do I get there? Impact media. The fourth thing that she offered as a clue, and you're ready, is if you're looking for a meaningful way in your organization to call out the other change makers in your organization, that calling out of them through an impact media profile of them is how they're lifted. And it comes back to this human nature piece of we all just want to be seen, known, heard, valued. And I want to go back to that word, valued. We get lots of spotlight time. Well, I'm an extrovert. I get lots of spotlight time. Even if you're an introvert, it's not about the spotlight. It's about being valued and being seen in that value. It's not just about, I see her, I hear her, I know her. No, I value this person. It's the way that their whole self is seen, heard, and known. And so that's the fourth thing. If you're looking for a meaningful way to call out the other change makers in your organization or to lift them up, an impact media portfolio. Okay, and the fifth thing, this was new for me. This was like, I love this. I wouldn't even have tracked for this. And I'm a tracker. I track everything. She said, if you're noticing there are intersections in your organization, and of course, there will be intersections, and specific to, and so now I'm kind of creating. She didn't actually say this, so I'm going to add a piece to this. I think this might be where she was going, or at least where it took me. When you have marginalized intersections within your organization, these are the leaders who have not yet been offered a platform or offered an opportunity to bring their change work, that impulse of contribution inside of them, to the table. If you have intersections within your organization of marginalized voices, marginalized contributions, meaning those contributions don't have an avenue to fully be realized, then an impact media or change work model with Powerhouse is a conversation you want to have with us. It is quite likely a product that you're ready for. And that's really the languaging we use in the house, is what are you ready for? And that's not a challenge. Like, what are you ready for? Well, maybe it could be. I'm all good. I'm all for a healthy challenge. But mostly it goes, again, from my lens as a story coach, story keeper, and my version of story, it is the absolute creative impulse that lives on creation energy itself. It's emergent. It is the I am within you that has, I'm going to go do inside it. The I am with I'm doing inside it. That when that core piece is ready to be seen, known, valued, heard, understood, shared, magnetized, amplified, you'll know when you're ready. And ready isn't about the green light. It's often about the yellow light, the yellow light that says, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do now. It happens not always on the green. It happens on the yellow. Then give us a call. So we're here for you. So I want to celebrate Amanda Rae Storteboom, who is a disruption strategist, who understands change work, who has a heart and a passion and a devotion to change makers, and who is a change maker herself and understands and knows how to work with organizations from that strategic, more linear place. I am way on the other camp, right? I'm like, throw me in the metaphor, throw me in the art, throw me in that place. She walks that walk with me for sure, but her genius really is in the strategy piece. So I want to thank you, Amanda, for your time this morning. And for anyone listening, come and get to know us here at Powerhouse. On this frame, you'll see the leader path, and the leader path is a place for change makers to walk into your change work with us. So thanks for listening. I'll come back. I come back every Wednesday after we finish a gather conversation, just to drop in the juicy bits for all of you. And go to powerhouse.com and you can find us there and all the things that we do. All right. Have a great day, everybody. And thanks for listening. I'm TinaO. Ciao.